Now, joining me in the studio is a familiar face. If you've watched the Channel 10 Shark Tank, you would have met Scott before. Welcome to the show, Scott.
Thanks, Carla. It's great to be here.
I'm so excited because I love that show, and I can't believe that it's been such an incredible success story. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. It's been an
Yet
amazing
another
journey.
award.
I know, the great Good Design Awards, International Design Awards for the international category.
Fantastic. And you've also the Telstra Awards, the Business Awards as well?
Yeah, Friday we got the Telstra South Australian Business of the Year.
Fantastic. Well, congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you.
Tell me, what is a HEG?
A HEG started 2.5 or nearly 3 years ago when I had an idea in the backyard and I was hanging out the washing and I picked up a black dress of my wife's, and here it is right here.
This is it.
This is it.
This was
this
the
is
moment.
The black dress, yes.
Now, as I said to you before the show, my husband would have just thought, just chuck it in the dryer,
yeah.
right? Or most husbands, or bend it over, put peg marks on it, put a line mark on it.
Yeah.
But you thought beyond that and thought, no, hang on, there has to be an easier way.
Well, the problem is that I picked it up thinking to myself, how am I going to do this without any line marks or peg marks or some marks? When I hang it over the line, it's going to have all three of them.
Right.
And I looked up at the line and there was a peg up there, and I just thought if I put a hook on a peg, then I could just solve the problem, and it would just hook up by the straps, and that's where it started.
Gosh. And now, we're thinking of all these different applications. Almost 40% of what we put through the wash can be hooked instead of pegged.
Absolutely, it's incredible. So the next 4 months, every time I went out there, I realised my jeans, my shorts, my kids' shirts, dresses, bras, knickers, the whole lot could be actually hooked up.
And it's not just about the hook, although there's a hook on both sides and a peg, but you've designed an incredibly ergonomic product. There's nothing like this on the globe.
That is correct, yeah, exactly. There's four main features I really want to point out, and this is the side of it. The first one is the ergonomic top section there that's actually quite wide, and this is good for blokes.
Right.
Nice with blokes with big thumbs, they can actually get the HEG and then put it on properly. The second one is the in the middle there's a little hole, and we made it slightly larger than the line, and that's called the primary line grip, and I'll tell you more about that in a minute.
Okay.
The third one, the obvious, which is the dual hook design, and that's the one we have a worldwide patent on.
Right, so there's no, and you did a lot of research when you came up with this idea.
A lot of research.
No one had done this.
I tell you, I looked at thousands of photos on Google and saw that no one had actually done it.
So now you've got the patent on this.
Exactly.
And so it's not only the hook, but also I love the fact that you've made the hinge higher up.
Correct, and that's the fourth beautiful feature. When the hinge being higher up allows the opening to be wider for those big bulky items like towels and socks and anything larger. So they're the four main key features. A couple of extras. We injected some UV in there as well to make them last longer. I'm a tall bloke. I used to knock the pegs. They used to smash everywhere, and I thought, I'm done with that.
Yeah, they can become so brittle and faded and end up with dirt in them. Okay, it's winning awards all over the shop. It was taken up by Naomi, who is an incredibly smart cookie. Of course, she's the founder of Red Balloon.
That's correct.
And she's joined with you and are now taking this to the... She's your shark.
She is my shark, absolutely. And I guess the best part about being the shark is that we actually produce it 100% here in South Australia.
I love that.
Yes, it's amazing.
And all made here in Australia. And you've also got jobs for Aussies. You're employing fantastic people into the business as well.
That is correct. We have a core team, and then indirectly, we employ over 50 people, all Australians.
I love that. Love that.
And the nice part about it is the manufacturing companies make the HEG, but then we actually assemble them with Arana Disability Services. So we have a bunch of people that go there every day to assemble HEGs, and then we export them to the world.
Love it. And the whole world is starting to see the Aussie innovative flair that we have for simple products that we use every single day. So tell me, we're hanging the washing out.
Yes.
How do we use this? How's this going to revolutionise the wash day?
Sure. I guess the first one is the very simple one, and the reason it actually exists is the dual hook design. The dual hook design came about for one, hanging it, but the second part is the frame itself. It actually connects back into, or the hook itself connects back into the frame.
Right.
So it creates what we call a windlock feature.
I see.
And the windlock feature stops it from blowing around. So all your other garments are flying around, and while this is turning around on the line, while the wind's going, it stays on.
Now, I believe you're working on some vision with the wind tunnel. I can't wait to see that.
I know.
That's
At your local university, we're going to put these HEGs with clothes in a wind tunnel and prove that they work.
Okay, so here we have the perfect spaghetti strap. This is where it all started, and don't think that's where it stops, because it doesn't. It just starts there, but then we've got bras.
This is the space-saving side of it. So there's your windlock side of it. The space-saving side is that it actually is a peg, but it has 2 hooks on it so you can add more garments to it. If you're in caravanning around Australia, if you're in apartment buildings, if it rains and you take all your clothes inside to where you put them on the clothes horse, space saving, you can add extra garments
over and over and over.
Over and over. So that it's a huge difference.
Yeah, and also if we spin around.
Yes.
Oh man, how hard is it to get blokes' jeans dry? Because you have to kind of fold them over.
That's correct, and this is the beautiful part. When you peg jeans up, they usually look like that.
Yeah, they do.
They do. You hang them up, they're nice and heavy, they're nice and wet. The primary line hold, the feature number 2, what happened, making it larger, is when you extend it out, the tension creates what we call a lockout feature.
Great.
And so you have that airflow travelling around the jeans. You're not doubling the material up over the line.
Right.
And also, it dries straight and you have less ironing.
Less
and that's what it's all about, isn't it?
Because as you know, when we start, you think about how you hang things up right now with a traditional peg. Most of the time, we're folding it over the railing.
Correct,
and then clamping it down, straight away creating no airflow.
That's right.
And also a mark. So what we want to do is literally allow the garment to hover in the air, whether it's inside or outside.
That's right, correct. And the big one is that tension. I mean, look at that. She's nice and straight, dries.
The wind's not going to blow that.
I mean, less ironing.
Yes.
That's what it's all about, isn't it? And the other part is the primary line hold, and I want to show this. A lot of people, 50-50, and if I ask your audience or customers now and said, who leaves their pegs on the line and who actually takes them off, and it'd be a 50-50.
I take them off.
Right, and a lot of people leave them on. So what we did was we made the line, the hole a little bit bigger than the line, so you can just move them to the side.
Oh, that's so smart.
Yes.
You can file them on the end, so you just go straight.
So all those people that took them off, they don't have to anymore.
I'm not
they
going
can
to
just
do
put
that
it
anymore. Okay, now what about rain? What if they get rained on? The sun, the UV, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, the stainless steel spring is a key pivotal point of the whole heg, and of course the UV. So between no rust stainless steel spring and a UV injected heg, they're strong, they're quality, they're Australian built. Leave them out. Mine have been out for more than a year and a half, and they're still perfect. So that's gold.
Now I love this too. What if we like to dry it on hangers?
Yes, and that's the other part of the consumer feedback that we got was a lot of people said, "Well, I use hangers." Well, that's good. So what happens now is when you use hangers, you usually put them on the line like that, and they're touching other clothes, they're touching other garments.
Off.
They blow off. Yeah, because there's nothing to hold it there.
No.
And the nice part about the heg is you just put it through the actual hook itself.
Yeah.
And then you're running parallel to other garments.
Yes.
You've got airflow travelling around.
Yeah.
And you've got a nice little
and like you say,
windlock.
it could be on the Hills hoist outside, or it could be on your air dryer inside.
Absolutely.
And it could be all of your ironing.
Yeah.
You could have all your hegs lined up with all your ironing, so that when you've ironed it, you're not cramming it back into small spaces. You can have it there drying.
Carla, a lot of people still love to do this. You know, a lot of people still love to put the coat hangers up. And so we created it for that reason as well.
Especially for business shirts.
Absolutely.
Put them straight on the hanger, iron them off, put them on the heg, done.
Done. So it is a heg, and the point is it's still pegs, and we couldn't change that. We had to make sure that we still had that, because people still want to do it.
That's right.
So you can hang, you can put it on hangers, you can peg, you can heg, you can do the lot.
And here, look at this.
Again,
there it is, there's a peg.
There it is, yeah.
There's your peg. But it's not just an ordinary peg. There's a huge amount of grip on that bottom part, so your towels aren't going to fall off.
That's correct. They're not. The grip is there. As you can see, the hinge is 75 degrees higher, so it locks in longer. And the best part, and I'll spin around now because that's a great introduction to it, is it is wider. I mentioned at the beginning the fourth feature, and the fourth feature is that it's wider there. So with towels, thick towels, you can put it on very easily. If you have extremely thick towels, again. And if you really want to have really thick, I mean, it's just, look at that.
Well, you've got a pair of socks
I've got
folded
2 pairs
over.
of socks on there, just to show you.
So you can, that's sometimes, and it's so devastating, Scott, as a mum or a housewife or whatever, when you come home, you've done all the washing, you've hung it out, and you come home and it's lying on the muddy floor.
Oh, it's horrible.
And you've got to do it all over again.
Yeah, and I can tell you, we've got photos coming from all over Australia on our Facebook site, Hooked on Hegs. We get photos everywhere from all over the world of exactly that. And then there's beautiful hegs that are just sitting there, and all the garments are still on the line.
From top to bottom, it's an innovation. ergonomic wide grip, stainless steel spring, oversized line hold, secondary line hold as well, dual hook design, and extra wide mouth made for bulky items. And you know, quite honestly, when it comes to washing, if you've got a family, you're doing a couple of loads a day.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? It's not something you do randomly.
I think my wife does more than that.
Yeah, I know. And if you're using a line, then you're saving money not using a dryer, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
So we want to hang up as much as we can.
It's very important. We have to go back to the old days of the Hills hoist, right? You hang your clothes up. It is, it's going to save you money. And the idea behind the Heg is that the clothes actually suspend now, so the airflow can travel around.
Now tell us, is it out in the field?
This is a great example of how to use it. And it's funny, if you actually, with our Facebook site, we give these educational videos just to show people how to use it. Because it's 200 years we've used the peg in a common way to actually educate people that this is a value add, this is a change, it's an extension of, is a feat. And Australians are the ones that have taken this up, and they're just fighting to educate the world.
Would you say, now that I'm seeing that, it's better to leave your pegs out?
Absolutely.
Leave them out.
Why not? I mean, they last. They're strong.
Quicker.
They're quality. Yeah,
they're already there.
Correct,
I'm just thinking, I'm saving myself time just by leaving them out rather than fishing them. And you're fishing into the bucket that's been sitting out there. Who knows what spiders are in there, right?
Yeah, that's right.
I'd rather have them sitting out on the line. I can just go and peg everything up, heg everything up, hook everything up, and it's done in half the time. There you go. There's the hanger on top. Oh, there's the space saving.
All there. And I think the big one is that a lot of people take their pegs off because they can't move them. These you can. You can move them to the side.
Yes.
So it alleviates taking them off. You don't have to.
Can you show me how you did that again, moving them around?
Absolutely.
And also how the lock works. Can you show me that?
Yeah.
So you kind of lock this one out here.
Yeah, with this lockout feature, what happens is with most pegs, you peg them up and they look like this, or you try to get them as far as you can, but you end up with bends and crinkles, and then wind happens, and they dry out. And then when they dry out, they even do more of this because there's no weight to them.
Right.
So with the lockout feature, the primary line hold, which is one of our main features, the tension, when you stretch it out, locks it. So it actually turns on an angle of 45 degrees or close to, and it locks it out. So you get that airflow through here.
Look at that.
You also end up with a nice straight business pants, jeans, as you can see.
Because you're not folding that over.
No.
And that's the hardest part to get dry.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
So also now, can you show me how we move them? So that's locked in. Do we have to tilt them or something like that to move them to the side? How do we do that?
If you want to, you could do that. But the point behind it is that instead of having to take a peg off every time and put it in your basket, and they're out here and you take all your clothes off and you pin them back up, literally just move them aside.
Move them. Oh my gosh.
Which is a great thing. So you know, those people who take them off and put them in the baskets, you no longer have to do that. No longer.
No longer.
Don't have to do it.
I'm ordering these today. I'm done. I'm chucking all my other pegs. They're all higgledy-piggledy, or they're all broken and faded and different sizes. I'm chucking them all in the bin. In fact, the Gadget Guy did a review on this as well.
He did.
What did he say?
He loves the Heg. He loved the idea. Peter Blasine, the Gadget Guy, actually knew about the idea before it was anything.
Did he?
So he's watched it come to fruition and watched the public engage in it, and it's been an amazing story. Look, to go back over the features again, and I think it's really important is to understand that the original idea was just about the hooks, the smart dual hook design, as we like to call it. But then off the back of that, we have 5 patentable items on this Heg that can secure it as a patent worldwide, and that's what we've done. So this is an Australian brand.
Yes, Australian made.
Australian made.
Love
an
it.
Australian patent.
Yeah.
And we're sending all over the world. We sent to 12 countries right now.
Already 12 countries.
And we're growing fast.
Because that was only I don't know, months ago on show.
Was.
So this has been a whirlwind for you.
Absolutely.
What
it's been
a
an
ride.
absolute amazing journey.
So the features again, the hook, of course.
The hook, of course. The ergonomic grip, nice wide. And amazing one about this, and I want to give this feedback, is since we've put this to market, all these people have come to us and said, this is great for arthritis people.
Right.
The reason is because the small pegs, when you push them, you're using your fingers and you're using your bends.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
Right, you can use your thumb.
Just use your thumb.
Oh,
Put it between your thumb and your fingers, and away you go.
Yeah. And it's good for the blokes, like you say, with bigger thumbs.
Well, that was me.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what is next in store for Hegs.
Yeah, in the Hegs dynasty, we're looking forward to it too, because it's growing and ideas are coming to us every day.
All right.
We're using Aussie innovators, we're mentoring entrepreneurs.
Fantastic.
Because we do it here in Australia.
Keep up the good work and you stay with us. More shopping coming up. Bye.